To start a new project, click on this button. From this dialog box, I can select the floor I wish to start on. For example, basement or foundations. The default is set as ground floor. In these boxes, I can enter the height of the walls. I can also adjust the ceiling thickness in this box here. Click OK to continue. This now shows my drawing area with a grid. I am going to increase the working area by clicking on View and select Normal View. The main set of tools needed to draw a house are here on the left-hand side. If I hover over the buttons, it will tell me what each of them does and provide me with further options. Let's start with the walls, which are very easy to find. First, click on Walls and select the thickest one to draw my external wall. If I ever want to check the measurements of an item, I can right-click on the button, like so. In this dialog box, I can set the thickness of the wall, and if necessary, for architectural drawings, I can go into much detail by pressing this button. This example is set as 100mm for outer leaf brickwork, 100mm cavity, and 100mm inner leaf blockwork. Shading can be changed here. Click OK once the settings are correct. To start drawing walls, click on the Walls button. I will then have a red cross where the cursor is. To start drawing the wall, click at the wall's starting point. Move the mouse in the direction I want the wall, and once I have reached the desired length, click again to stop drawing this wall. Then drag the mouse in the direction I want the wall to continue. And when I've reached the length I require, again, move the mouse, click, move the mouse, and click again. I will now right-click to stop drawing the walls for a moment and put a guideline in to make it easy for me to meet up with where I started. Click on this button, which will bring up more options in a column to the right-hand side. Make sure Vertical Guideline is selected. Move your mouse so the guideline is next to the wall we want to join to and click to confirm. Now I'll go back to drawing walls by clicking on the Wall tool again and begin again from where I left off by clicking. Move the mouse, click on the guideline and meet up with the wall I started on. Click to confirm and right-click to stop drawing walls. I will now go back to the Walls button, hover over it and choose a thinner wall. Right-click to ensure it is the correct thickness. Press OK and begin drawing the internal walls. For these I will choose Single Wall. Click here and click here. You will see that rooms are numbered automatically. I will just put a couple more walls in. Now, right-click again to stop drawing the walls. OK, that's all my walls drawn. At this point, I can change the names of the rooms. To do this, click on the arrow tool and double-click on the room name to be edited. I'm going to call this room Kitchen. This one Sitting Room. This one Hallway. And this one Toilet. Adding windows and doors is a breeze in Easy 3D Designer. Hover over the Doors button on the left-hand side, select a suitable door, for example, outside door. Once selected, I can right-click on the door to check it has the correct measurements, sill height, and degree in which you want it to open. Then hover over a wall where you want to place the door. As you can see, there are measurements to tell you how far the door is from the adjacent walls. Once you have the door in the correct place, click to confirm And then you will need to select which way you want the door to open again, by one click. Now to put some internal doors in. Hover over the doors, choose Entry Door, hover over your wall and click once to confirm the position, and once more to say which way you want it to open. I will just put a couple more in. Adding windows is just as simple. Hover over the window button and select the style of window you require. To check the details of this window, right-click on the button. Here you can alter the dimensions and sill height. For this example, I am going to show you how easy it is to use the Advanced Window Construction tool. Right-click on the button to add the width, left height and right height, which will usually be the same. You can add an arch if required, and then select the sill height. Here you can go into detail on the frame width and depth. Then type in how many vertical bars you wish to have and how many horizontal bars. For this example, I will have 2 vertical bars and 1 horizontal bar. Like before, you then just need to click on the walls where you want to insert them. I will now add a set of stairs, by hovering over this button and selecting the L-shaped stairs, for example. I click once where I want the stairs to start, once for how deep I want them to go, and one last click for how wide I want them to go. A dialog box then appears where I can enter the stair width, tread depth, start height, and so on. It currently has a concrete texture, but I can change this by clicking on this arrow. I will choose a wooden texture for all stair parts, and click OK. Now let's have a look at what I have drawn so far, but in 3D. This takes just one click on this button here, which takes me to Design Mode, where I can see my project so far in 3D. By pressing the arrow keys on my keyboard, I can spin the building around, and view from below and from above. OK. To continue drawing the house, I will press the same button again to go back to construction mode. I want to add a new floor, so I just click on Floor, then New Top Floor, which brings up the Floor dialog box again. Here I can alter the floor height, ceiling thickness, and so on. You will see that it has automatically chosen the same layout as the floor below, but these walls can easily be altered by clicking on one and dragging it like so, or clicking on a wall, pressing Delete on my keyboard and redrawing the wall like so. Then I need to repeat the windows and doors process. So I will hover over the doors, choose a door, and click once where I'd like to position the door, and once which way I want the door to open. I will just add a couple more. Now I will add some windows by hovering over the window button. I'll choose a window and repeat the process. You will see the windows and doors are slightly greyed out but still visible on the floor below, which makes it easier to line up windows on both floors perfectly. The main shell of the building is now almost complete, but it needs a roof. I will need to add another floor for my roof, which is essentially the loft space. So click on Floor, New Top Floor, and select Attic from the drop-down. Alternatively, you could type over this to rename the floor to your own term, for example, loft space. Click OK. As this is the loft, I will delete the internal walls by simply clicking on them and pressing Delete. Now that this roof space is empty, I will add the roof. To do this, hover over the roof button and choose Free Roof Type. And from the second column, select Automatic Roof. Now if I move the cursor anywhere inside the building, a red outline will show where the proposed roof will be. Click anywhere inside the building and the roof is automatically drawn. Again, Easy 3D Designer makes it so easy. In Roof Editor, I can edit the roof in a number of ways. One side of the roof is highlighted in tiles, so anything altered on the left-hand side will change this roof side. I will just click this right arrow button and change this roof side to a gable, for example. There are many other options, such as flying hip roof, mansard roof, flat roof, lean-to roof, and so on. I will also change the overhang to 200mm. Click the right arrow key, change the overhang again. Click the right arrow. Change the overhang on this side, and so on. I can then go into further detail by selecting these tabs. For example, in the Wood Dimensions tab, I can alter any dimension. In Wood Construction, I can choose elements of the roof I wish to include in this drawing and type in my desired rafter spacing. In the Details tab, I can select whether I want to have guttering or eaves on my roof and select a type of fascia. Once I'm happy with my settings, I just press OK, and the roof has been drawn. Now I will go back to the 3D design mode. This allows me to easily change the textures, add carpet, and add bathrooms and kitchens and so on. Firstly, I will put a brick texture on the external walls. Again, this is very straightforward. I click View and ensure Texture and Object Catalogue is ticked. Then click on this button to look at the textures. I will double-click on the Outside folder. Then double-click on Wall. These are the wall textures available in the programme, where I can choose the one I require. I will choose Clinker. To choose a texture from this folder, drag and drop onto the house by holding the left mouse button down and letting go over the wall where I want to add the brick texture. Now I'm going to design the interior, which is easier if you are looking at one floor at a time rather than all at once. To do this, go to Floor, then Visible Floors, and select Current Floor. I want to start on the ground floor, so I go back to Floor, hover over Current Floor, and select Ground Floor. First, I will colour the walls. So in the Object Catalogue, I press the back button twice, and this time I select the Colours folder, then the Solid folder, and I scroll down until I see a colour I want. Again, I click on the colour and drag it to the walls of the appropriate room. I will colour a few more rooms in the same way. To texture the floors, I want the view to be more from above, and I again press the back button twice on the catalogue. This time, I select the Floor folder. First I will put some carpet in, so I double-click on Carpet, and then I choose Mix folder, and drag the desired texture to this room, and then again for this room. Now, I will put some tiles in the kitchen. So I press back twice, and this time select the Tile folder. I scroll down, and again drag and drop the tile pattern I require. If you want more textures, then it is easy to save new images to your catalogue. Now I go to the catalogue and select Object from the left-hand side. I'll scroll down to K and double-click on the Kitchen folder. Then I select a kitchen set. I will use Set 1. Short cabinets. To add furniture, you just need to click on the item you want and drag it onto the drawing. I will add a corner unit first, so I click on it, drag it over to the room, and drop. Now I want it to go in the corner, so I will need to rotate it using this button called Rotate about the Z-axis. Then I will click and drag it into its position. Now I will add some more units. So click, drag, drop, rotate. Click, drag, drop, rotate. Now I'll click on Show All to see the whole building again. OK, now by pressing back 3 times, I can choose another folder. So I will add a bathroom in this room. So I'll zoom into this room by using the zoom tool again. Now I double-click on Bath, then I will choose Toilet first. I choose a toilet and drag and drop to an approximate position. Rotate as necessary and move it to the desired position. Now I will repeat the same process. Go back a folder, double-click on Sink, choose a sink, drag and drop, rotate, drag to position. For the bath, I go back a folder, I choose Tubs and select the bath you would like. Drag, drop, rotate, drag to position. Now you get the idea, you can apply this process using items such as showers, appliances, sofas, beds, and so on. To view your house in 3D, choose this Perspective button. Then go to Floors, Visible Floors, and select All Floors. I want to quickly add some section views, so I press this button to go back to construction mode. To add a front elevation, I click Define Section and ensure Horizontal Section to the right is selected. I click once at the left of the building, move the mouse to the right, and click again. This box will appear and I just need to confirm the details. I can leave it as its default name or type front elevation, for example. Then I'll check it is at the scale I require. In the section window box, I select As Rectangle in Plan. Then I press OK. Now I can click on this picture and drag it to the desired position. Now to finish off, I'll show you how you can make a realistic 3D walkthrough of the house. I simply go back to Design mode by pressing this button. Then I zoom in on the front door and select these footsteps up here. I can then use my arrow keys to walk through the house, like so. As you can see, Easy 3D Designer makes it so fast and easy for you to create professional 2D drawings and 3D graphics with very little computer experience. To order Easy 3D Designer, call us on 0845 612 4747 or place your order via our secure online store at easypricepro.com.